Hey guys, how's it going? Sky here again with another Nikke video. I just want to give you an update on the things that's been happening lately, and also got two new news that got posted to me just recently. I just kind of want to talk about them also. Well, first, as usual, I've been always just consistently streaming on Twitch, so I'm always just live there if you guys ever want to see or talk to me. But I've been sick lately, so I actually haven't been uploading a lot on YouTube. But if you want to hang out, just always visit me there. But let's talk about the things that I kind of want to talk about today. And one of them are kind of just new information about the upcoming new units. Alright, so there's two new units that are kind of leak into information with their kits, and I kind of just want to talk about them. One of them is Anne and the other is Xmas Rupee. So I kind of want to talk about their kits, and they seem to be really interesting. So Anne, or like Xmas N102, is a new support unit that has basically a revive capability. So as you can see here, it seems like she is able to revive a fallen attacker ally units with her burst skill and resurrects with 99% HP. It does activate once per battle. After that is a consistent restores 38% HP and then also 77% attack power. Now that seems really big, but then if you actually look at it, you'll see that it actually has a 60-second cooldown, so it doesn't seem as broken. And I guess like the activates once per battle, it doesn't seem like we need more than one revive. By my experience, at the very least, usually I don't really use more than one revive whenever I'm using Rapunzel. But is she going to overcreep Rapunzel? I don't think so, even though that she actually has a skill that recovers HP based on attack damage over 5 seconds. It only affects support allies and it activates every 3 normal attacks. I don't think she will completely replace Rapunzel as kind of the main healer, because the main thing is for Rapunzel is she has a 3 ally heal every time she attacks full charge. So I don't think anyone will really replace Rapunzel in that regards. She does increase the HP recovery percentage, so like whenever she has above 80% HP potency is 23.46%, and then when hits the last target, she reduces the HP potency, so it would be good against like bosses, for example, that heals a lot over time. I'm sure some of you probably have experience where there's a lot of enemies that have been healing and then you're just getting annoyed because they keep healing. So she would be a good in that situation. I don't think she is going to replace anyone. I think she does still have like her own niche if you want to use her, but at the very least I don't think she is going to be a completely meta breaking unit. She will have like specific uses, like for example getting that attack burst, and maybe if you can time properly with all your cooldowns and everything, this would be a really good thing. But again, keep in mind it's a burst too, and then also it's a 60-second cooldown, so it's not really that much efficient. I don't think she is going to replace Rapunzel. I know at a quick glance it seemed like she was going to replace her, but I think because of Rapunzel's full charge attack and then heals 3 allies units, I think that there's still no one that can really replace what Rapunzel provides to the team. If I had to choose between the two, I would probably pick Rapunzel if I need a little bit more defensive one. However, I personally don't think that she is worth any other replacement, because if you do bring her for burst skill 2, you would need to bring another burst skill 2 regardless, because of the 60-second cooldown. Now the next that I really want to talk about is Xmas Rupee. I think she will definitely replace a lot of the units that probably some people have set up, and I would say that even at 0 copies, she would be really good. And here, let's talk about her skills real quick. For skill 1, she has the effect last bullet target, and it affects all allies, where she will increase the defense for 5 seconds. Now this is really good because defense is like a really underrated value. I feel like a lot of people kind of ignore about the defense, but if you have been running some simulation room, you start noticing that defense actually does give a lot of effect and survivability to the team. I think this is just a solid buff overall. and not to mention it affects all allies. Now the next one is affects all allies and activates when an ally unit uses any burst skill, and when you use any burst skill you increase by your defense, and then it stacks up to 4 times and then lasts for 20 seconds. And then another one is it affects all allies, activates when the caster reaches max stacks of shopping, the shopping being the stacking buff that she gets whenever someone uses a burst skill. Now the burst gauge loading speed, this might be the burst gauge when you start like loading your burst gauge up. Pretty broken because of how often you can do your bursts. Now, how do you actually reach the max stacks, right, when it's up to 4 stacks, right? And let me talk about that real quick because of this burst skill. She has affects self for attack and she taunts enemy, and then she will also recover of her attack damage as HP over 10 seconds. So that means that she is going to be a good tank unit. But not only that, she also has additional effect for all allies, which increases reload speed. It increases for 10 seconds, and this is really good. So especially if you have Scarlet, for example, this is a really good unit. But the next one that I'm about to talk about is, if you're looking at it right now, it's re-enter burst skill stage 1. Now, if you try to internalize what that means, this is actually kind of broken, because what this means is you're gonna be able to use her burst and then also another burst skill stage 1. I do think that she will enter a lot of the meta teams right now, and sure, maybe they might just tweak the numbers, but I feel like the overall mechanics is probably not going to change. I would definitely be on the lookout on this unit. And what's good is she is a support unit, and usually support unit you don't really need any duplicates unless you're just padding for power. But as some people probably have realized, power is primarily required for campaign and also tower, but like in other situations or content like Interception, Simulation Room, and Lost Sector, the power doesn't actually matter as much, and you actually don't get nerfed if you are under the power level for those content. But anyways, what do you guys think about this? I think that Anne will not be as broken as what will likely happen, but Christmas Rupee might be broken, so I will definitely be on the watch out for this, especially for tackling contents where you are under the power level. Defense actually comes in really clutch and will actually increase your survivability. And she will just introduce another different mechanic, which is a re-entering burst skill stage. Now what could possibly happen is other future units could also have this kind of scenarios, and maybe instead of like re-enter burst skill stage 1, maybe it'll re-enter burst skill stage 2 or stage 3. But yeah, what do you guys think? You can leave your comment and just what are your thoughts on it. I'd like to hear more on how she will be shaping up the meta. Now on to the next topic that I kind of want to just talk about. Nikke debut revenue has just been released, and Sensor Tower updated their information, and lo and behold, I was actually expecting this as well, but Nikke earned a total of roughly $70 million in just basically the first month. Now that is insane, because like I don't think any other gacha has probably released this much on release. I can't remember for Genshin. Probably Genshin is roughly around that. But even people saying like, you know, Tower Fantasy had recently 26 million, which I thought that was not gonna be able to do. And also, if I recall correctly, Memento Mori had like roughly 16 million, which I could not understand, by the way. But it really 70 million. Some other gacha games hasn't even reached that much in its lifetime that has been out for years now. So this is really good, especially on the outlook of the game. Literally, they probably already had enough to sustain for many years just with this month alone. I don't think it's going to get as high as this again, but you know, the thing is with the Christmas unit coming in, and there is also another leak that Modernia is likely going to be after these new units. She might be a 1% pilgrim rate up, so just make sure you don't spend too much on these 2 new units. I think that Rupee will be really good, and maybe getting 1 copy of her will be just enough. You probably don't need multiple copies, because I think that multiple copies really primarily needed for DPSs. But just be on the watch out because Modernia is also likely going to be coming soon if the what I've been told is going to be correct. And you know, I feel like she's going to be a meta DPS, kind of like Laplace right now, who has, well, Laplace does have like her own pros and cons, but as some people have been using her and I've been using her as well, she is good in very specific situations where you want to focus like a single boss, a single enemy, with especially if that enemy has multiple parts. But anyways, what do you guys think about these information? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you guys want to catch me more as well, you can visit me at Twitch. I am more active in there, and all of the information that I kind of talk about are in there. I might not be converting them into YouTube video as often as I would like, but if you guys have any other questions, just feel free to stop by and chill there. Some people do ask for their account also, and I do some account reviews. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See ya.